Hello, everyone. I'm Nessa, and I want to say a huge thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Crime Tapes podcast. Stick around because today we've got a story that has reverberated through an entire community, leaving more questions than answers. Welcome back to the Crime Tapes podcast. I'm your host, Nessa. Today we're diving into a shocking case right here in New Jersey that underscores the ongoing issue of driving while intoxicated. If you're a regular listener, thank you for your continued support, and if you're new, welcome. Don't forget to share the podcast with your friends and let me know what stories you'd like to hear next. Your feedback helps shape the show. Picture a quiet Thursday afternoon in Holmdel, New Jersey. The kind of day where you expect nothing more than the usual suburban hum, kids playing, lawnmowers buzzing, and neighbors chatting over fences. But for one family, this ordinary day was shattered in an instant when a Jeep came crashing into their backyard deck, flipping their sense of security upside down. Literally. Anthony Hernandez, the driver of that Jeep, failed to stop at the intersection of Crawford's Corner and Everett Road. What happened next is nothing short of a nightmare. The vehicle sped up a berm, struck a tree, rolled over, and finally landed on the deck of a Holmdel residence. Thankfully, no one was seriously injured, but the potential for tragedy was immense. Let's talk about the charges against Anthony Hernandez. According to the police, he's facing multiple charges, including driving while intoxicated, reckless driving, disregard of a stop sign, and failure to maintain traffic on marked lanes. These are not minor infractions. Each of these charges points to a serious lapse in judgment, one that could have cost lives. Driving while intoxicated is one of the most dangerous choices a person can make. It puts everyone on the road at risk, from other drivers to pedestrians and, as we see in this case, even people in the supposed safety of their own homes. Reckless driving compounds this danger by violating the basic rules of road safety and respect for others. Ignoring stop signs and failing to maintain lanes further show a blatant disregard for the legal measures put in place to protect us all. Anthony Hernandez's actions are a stark reminder of the severe consequences that come with such reckless decisions. They not only reflect on the individual, but impact the entire community, causing a ripple effect of fear, anxiety, and a loss of trust in the safety of our daily environments. This incident isn't just an isolated case, it's a reflection of a broader problem we're facing in New Jersey. According to recent statistics, New Jersey has seen a troubling number of DWI cases. Despite strict laws and enforcement, too many people are still making the reckless decision to get behind the wheel after drinking. This troubling trend in DWI cases points to a systemic issue that requires not just individual accountability, but also community action. Holmdel, like many other towns in the state, is grappling with the consequences of these decisions. Every DWI incident has a rippling effect that reaches far beyond the immediate scene of the accident. Families are devastated, communities feel the strain, and public confidence in road safety diminishes. In Holmdel, residents are left to deal with the aftermath of accidents, property damage, and in too many cases, the loss of life. The broader community impact is palpable. It's evident in the heightened anxiety every time we see reports of another DWI arrest. Communities like Holmdel are forced to confront the harsh reality that despite best efforts in law enforcement and public awareness campaigns, the issue persists. This leaves residents wondering what more can be done to break this dangerous cycle and protect our loved ones from the perils of drunk driving. Let's take a moment to consider the emotional and psychological impact on the victims of this crash. Imagine sitting in your living room or maybe outside on your deck and suddenly a Jeep crashes into your home. The shock, the fear, and the immediate realization that you or your loved ones could have been seriously injured or worse. It's something that stays with you long after the debris is cleared and the news crews leave. For the family in Holmdel, this was more than just a property damage incident. It was a violation of their sense of safety in their own home. The sanctity of one's household is something we all hold dear, and when that is disrupted so suddenly and violently, it leaves a deep psychological scar. The sense of peace and security that they once took for granted is shattered, and the impact of that isn't easily mended. Let's extend this perspective to the wider community. When an incident like this occurs, it doesn't just affect the immediate victims. It ricochets through the entire neighborhood, creating an atmosphere of unease and apprehension. Residents begin to question the safety of their surroundings. They wonder if their homes, their sanctuaries, could also be breached by such reckless behavior. In small communities, where everyone feels a closer connection to each other, the emotional ripple effects are significant. Neighbors feel the distress of their fellow community members. They share in the collective anxiety. It pushes community members to rally together, to discuss what could possibly be done to prevent such incidents from happening in the future. This shared trauma can sometimes bring communities closer, but it also serves as a constant reminder of the perils that can disrupt their peaceful lives. These emotional and psychological impacts underscore why it is so crucial for us to take driving while intoxicated seriously. It's not just about the potential for physical harm, but about the enduring mental and emotional scars such incidents leave behind. It drives home the point that, when we talk about DWI, we're talking about real, lasting consequences that extend far beyond the immediate crash site. Through understanding these impacts, we can better advocate for stronger measures to prevent such tragedies. Now, what happens next for Anthony Hernandez? Let's delve into the legal ramifications he'll be facing under New Jersey law. Given the severity of his actions, the law doesn't take these types of offenses lightly. DWI, or driving while intoxicated, is a serious charge that carries significant penalties. Depending on previous offenses, Hernandez could be looking at hefty fines, mandatory community service, and possibly even jail time. License suspension is also a common penalty, which serves to keep the offender off the roads, thereby reducing the risk of further incidents. In NJ, a first-time DWI offense can result in fines ranging from $250 to $400, and that's just the beginning. Offenders may face an additional $1,000 annual automobile insurance surcharge for 3 years, plus court fees and other related costs. For repeat offenders, the fines increase significantly, and the legal ramifications become even more severe. Penalties for second or third offenses can include extended jail time, longer license suspension periods, and mandatory installation of an ignition interlock device, which prevents the car from starting if it detects alcohol on the driver's breath. Beyond the immediate penalties, the state also emphasizes rehabilitation and prevention. Offenders may be required to attend alcohol education and rehabilitation programs designed to address the underlying issues contributing to impaired driving. These programs aim not only to punish, but to reform, in hopes of preventing future incidents. But legal consequences are just one facet of dealing with the issue. The community plays a vital role in preventing DWI incidents. It starts with awareness, educating everyone about the dangers and the far-reaching consequences of driving under the influence. Public campaigns, school programs, and community meetings can help spread this essential message. It's also about accountability. Encouraging people to make conscious choices, like using designated drivers or ride-sharing services, can make a significant difference. As neighbors and friends, we must look out for one another. If someone seems too impaired to drive, stepping in to stop them can save lives. While it can be uncomfortable to confront a friend or loved one, it's far better than dealing with the aftermath of a preventable tragedy. Together, we can cultivate a community culture that prioritizes safety and responsibility, one where the collective effort helps to keep our roads free from the dangers of drunk driving. We'll delve into how communities can better support these preventative measures in future episodes, but for now, understanding the gravity of legal consequences is a crucial first step in addressing this persistent issue. As we wrap up today's episode, I want us to take a moment to reflect on the broader implications of drinking and driving. This isn't just about one person making a risky choice. It's about a chain reaction that affects entire communities. Anthony Hernandez's actions are a stark reminder of how one moment of impaired judgment can reverberate through an entire town, causing fear, anxiety, and lasting emotional scars. Consider the victims we discussed, the family in Holmdel whose sense of security was shattered in an instant. Their experience is a powerful testament to the far-reaching consequences of driving while intoxicated. It's not just about physical harm or property damage. It's about enduring mental and emotional impacts that linger long after the debris is cleared away. I encourage each of you to think about the community-wide impact of such actions. Driving under the influence doesn't just endanger the driver. It places every person they encounter at risk. This includes not only other drivers and pedestrians, but also innocent families sitting in their homes. When we understand these broader impacts, we can better advocate for safer roads and stronger preventative measures. Remember, this podcast is a platform for us to come together and discuss these crucial issues. I'd love to hear your thoughts and feedback. If you have any stories, insights, or ideas for future episodes, please send me a message. Your feedback is instrumental in shaping our discussions and shedding light on important topics. With that, I want to thank you all for tuning in to the Crime Tapes podcast. Don't forget to share this episode with your friends and loved ones. Sharing these stories can make a difference and help raise awareness about the serious consequences of drunk driving. Until next time, stay safe out there, and let's work together to make our communities safer for everyone.